Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast. All the stuff we did not get to during the course of the show today. Everybody back and feeling good. Good weekends, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah, and also, as you can tell, I didn't take the day off.
I know. It's so happy. We couldn't tell.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either. It was honestly a last call.
I know. Seems like you weren't here for most of the show. But
thank you.
No,
I aim for it.
Did you
Always
not
good to
know,
have you
though,
here.
like going into Sunday, was it still up in the air?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, it wasn't up in the air.
I
But
thought you
Wally
had-
did say, he was like, don't change your mind. Don't
Yeah.
be calling or texting.
I know. Like when she
That's
told me on
worse.
like late Friday or Saturday, like, yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll be there.
No, I didn't. I told you right after the show.
It was.
Oh,
She
late
made her
Friday.
decision in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
would- yeah.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, yeah. So, but yeah, don't call me this weekend and tell me not.
I decided to change my mind. No.
But we have next weekend or next week off.
Yeah,
too,
3
Monday.
days, yeah.
So again, heads up if you're a potty. I get so many potties. Like I got to tell you, man, I just love our potties. Like they get what we're doing, and for some reason they listen. God bless you, thank you. And they miss us. You know, it's so nice to be missed. Like it's just nice. Like people are like, I can't wait to hear your stories again. I got people around me that are tired of my stories.
Amen.
I know, myself included, you know, and so I'm so happy about doing this. So that said, my wife asks me every weekend, like literally on Friday, we finish, I come home and she's like, so what's everyone doing? And half the time I cannot remember what everyone's doing.
That's rude.
Because it's not about me. And so, no, I just,
Selfish?
sometimes I forget. And sometimes I remember parts, you know, and stuff like that. Gavin, what was your weekend supposed to, did you do what you were planning out to do?
We did, which was nothing because
Yeah.
Haley
Yeah.
was sick and we were
Yeah.
going to do a game night. But again,
Didn't happen.
We had to nix that. Talk to you guys, though, about
Okay.
a bunch of games last
I know,
week.
Five
so.
Alive. I found
Yeah.
it at Target, and
Oh,
it is
really?
a good game for up to 6 people.
Six,
Because you
okay.
They
like,
said 8, though.
I know, but have two
If
people sit out.
Yeah, if 2 people cancel, then
Right.
I've still got a good game.
You're good to go. Yeah, it's a fun game.
I
It's
won't
a fun
invite
card
2
game.
of them.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Shun them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have a good weekend?
I did. It was pretty laid back, and so I had a great weekend. But I didn't get to do some of the things I wanted to do because of the weather.
Did you
I'm
bike
still-
with
I did.
Greg?
Yeah, Greg and I went on
this the
probably our
last
last
time?
ride.
Did you
yeah.
guys cry?
No,
Did you
no,
hug at the end?
no. We didn't. We didn't talk.
Any
We-
white-
Sing in the arms of an angel?
We did not make eye contact or anything at the end. We're like, just load the bikes up. Just load them up. It's the last ride. Yeah.
It's the dust. It's
It's
So-
they keep making them Fast and Furious.
It's the end
Oh,
of the
yeah.
like
Fast
Paul
and
Walker
Furious.
and Van
You
Diesel
go off
or
your
whatever.
separate ways.
Yeah.
It's been a
Yeah.
long
And so,
day
okay. All right. Here's what I did with my
without you,
weekend.
my friend.
Since we're going to talk about this, it's been a long weekend. A lot of deep dives for me this weekend into new hobbies. Yeah, thank you. Not gonna cry, but like I'm like looking. I'm taking auditions for a new best friend, and Paul, my friend who used to work here, that now runs Shower Up, threw his hat in the ring for the
Did-
You actually have
weekend.
a taker.
Yeah.
Did he throw his hat in the
He
ring,
did.
or was you? Are you?
Marty was
choosing?
there. You were there at lunch. You heard him, right? Marty, my wife, and my daughter. You didn't hear
she's
it?
nodding no.
Ouch!
No, get over here. Do not be a liar.
Ouch.
You heard him, right?
Killer.
I did hear it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Oh.
he was like, yes, I
But
want to
did
be
he
your
say,
best
yes,
friend.
I'll be your best friend after Wally was like
Nope.
crying?
well,
and
they're trying to
bawling?
figure out what to be best friends about.
Yeah.
That's part of the that's the key to the equation is you
What
can't,
activity?
Yeah.
you can't necessarily just be like instant best friends.
Yeah,
and
guys
not
have
be
to
able
have
do
something
stuff.
to do.
You can't just like their
Like,
personality and be
no.
like, yeah, we'll
No,
be
You can't go
friends.
that far.
But
That doesn't
here-
last that long.
No, here's where I'm sad though. Okay, so before the weekend, Gavin heard me talking to Engineer Phil, who Engineer Phil's like one of the nicest people we have here.
He's the best.
And
He's
he's
super
good at his
funny.
job.
Best friend.
Oh yeah, he can talk to a wall. Like he's the best. And so he rides dirt bikes. And so he was like, dude, I've got an extra dirt bike. Why don't you come ride with me sometime? And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is looking good. Shake the magic 8 ball. Are we going to be best friends? Outcome likely, you know? And so
Because you're
check
just
back
going
later.
from mountain biking to a different type of biking.
yeah, exactly. So,
Not so
I
hard.
did a full deep dive into buying a dirt bike
You know what
this
this
weekend.
is reminding me of?
Yes.
I've heard of this, and I've actually seen it in some of my friends. So when they date different guys,
Yes.
they adapt into what their boyfriend likes.
That's me.
oh my.
Yes, like
Because you weren't a mountain biker before
no,
Greg.
I wasn't, and now apparently after Greg, I'm not anymore. You know, so because I don't want to do it by myself.
You gonna
know?
self in?
What?
You gonna sell?
Oh yeah, my bike. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. And so I'm like, okay, so yeah, we. Stop it. So this is where guys like Gavin's saying you need to bond over something.
Yeah.
And so like I'm all excited this week. I come back to work and Phil's here and I'm like, Phil, hey Phil, come on in here. And normally
he's
Phil's like, hey guys.
But instead he was like,
I did a deep dive into dirt bikes this week, and he's like, oh. I'm like, what do you mean, oh? Like, so now I've become that needy person looking for a best friend. So bad.
It was
the girls that are desperate, they run away. The guys.
That's what I look like. Yeah, I look like you right now. And
Ouch.
too soon.
That's a low blow.
Low blow. Sorry.
Rude.
Hurt people. That's my defense. Yes, what you were saying, Gavin?
I was going to say, it was funny, though, because whenever he and Phil had finished their conversation about dirt biking, I kind of like talked to him like, oh, you're going to go dirt biking? He's like, yeah. I'm like, you a little bit scared? And he's like, oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's
well, because I
tough
get hurt
machinery.
I get hurt on a bicycle.
You get hurt with pickleball.
Exactly.
With senior citizens.
And we're talking about dirt bikes.
Exactly, like going 50 miles an hour in the woods. There's a good chance I'm going to break stuff, and like on my body. But all right, that's all right. That's what we and Phil do. No,
real quick, Martin. What's your opinion on him and dirt biking?
Phil does not know what he's gotten himself into.
Does this scare you, or is it?
I think Phil is fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah,
but I'm not really sure about the dirt bike thing. So
I don't know. And his wife is great too. Like she likes his wife, so we could be best friend families.
yes, I like Katie too.
Yeah, see, Katie's awesome, and so I don't know. This is and Paul's not a bad option for me because we see them every Sunday, and you love Rhonda.
It
I
makes
do.
me
I love
wonder.
Paul and Rhonda.
It makes me wonder if Phil or Paul would either be disappointed if they got overchosen by the other. Do
Probably
you know what
not.
I'm saying?
Oh yeah, no. Paul
would be okay.
Paul would be sad. Phil would be fine. Phil's going to do fine. He's going to be friends with everything in this office. But Paul will be sad.
What do you and Paul have in common?
Well, he wanted to buy a gun, and so I'm a gun owner, and I shoot, and I love to shoot on the range, and so I was like, okay, I'll go with you and help you pick something out. So
It's sad that you had to say that and not giving back to others because Paul is really great
Yes,
about giving to others.
He helps the homeless and stuff like
and
that.
You were like, let me think.
No, let's come up with something else, Paul. Spitball. What else do you like to do besides good things for people?
Well, interesting.
Is there anything I'm going to enjoy? All right, so there's that. One of the things I did this weekend.
It also says a lot about Paul because he likes to help people. Is this another reach out for help? Like he's like helping you.
I'm
he's
a
one of
project.
your projects.
Oh.
You're just like shower up to him.
You're another homeless man.
I will say that before Shower Up, we were doing lunch every Sunday after
Sure.
church
That's
with
true.
Paul
We've
and
been
Rhonda
friends for
anyway,
years.
so it's been a long friendship.
You would pick Paul and Rhonda if you were to pick between Paul and Phil.
Yes, because that would be safer, I feel.
Yeah,
than
Paul seems
mountain
like
dirt
the
biking.
the safer option.
Paul's very busy though. See, that's the other problem. He's got 3 kids. He's got Shower Up, and so like
Phil has 5 kids.
Yeah, but Phil doesn't care about them.
Phil does a lot of stuff.
No, Phil does stuff with the kids. Like, so Phil and them will go dirt biking together. So we can all load up the trucks and go dirt biking. Paul just takes his kids to help the homeless. I don't want to do that. No.
This is the exact opposite, though, of retired Greg, who like worked really hard and was at that point of his life, and you could just be like, any day, hey, Greg, let's go do this. Hey, let's go vacation.
And he'd
let's
be
do
there.
This.
Yeah, exactly. So stop it. Okay, so here's the other thing that I want to talk about this from the weekend. The movie A Man Called Otto. Holy moly. Well, it's Tom Hanks like you've never seen him before, for sure.
I already want to see it because
so
the
good.
plot looks like he plays an old man that's lonely. He's lost his wife, but also some kind of like cat adopts him or something. So you got not only do we have Tom Hanks, but you have a cat. So
and old people.
And old people. There's 3 things.
You'll love this. He is so good in it. There's one part that you will watch in the very beginning of this movie. I'm not going to spoil any of the movie, but you will look at this and I guarantee you'll be like, oh, that's Wally. Because he's like he's like at this
complains a lot.
Yes. Oh yeah. Like that's what he does. And so he's at like a going away party for his work, and like he's retiring or whatever. And they're talking about, he's like, well, congratulations on your retirement. He's like, basically you forced me out. I took the package. Yes. Because after the merger, and he starts complaining and my wife looks at me and she goes, because we just had a merger with another ministry, and like he's just complaining crying, and my wife looks at me and she's like, "This is you."
Now, I was told that you said you cried.
Multiple times.
Now, did you or Marty cry more?
She cried heavier and deeper. I would just get a little choked up and wash my eyes away.
Okay. Were you the only ones that were crying? Were there other people in there?
I think Greg got it. Marty, didn't Greg cry? Like, did you see Greg cry?
I feel everybody in the theater cried, and yes, Greg cried multiple times, as well as Wally, with more than just a just tears.
He's like
Greg never cries in movies.
Throughout his beard.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
man.
like took Greg's sleeve and like wiped his tears.
Tissue, please.
His
he like
head's just
held
in
Greg's hand
neck.
instead of Marty's. Marty and Molly are over there like, this is awkward.
Are these ladies
Well,
done?
so is it a sad cry or is it a happy cry?
It's both. Like, there's a whole lot of the movie that is.
Does someone die?
I'm not going to tell
the
you.
cat
Someone
die?
dies.
No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell
I
you any
can't
of that.
handle it if the cat dies.
Oh, I watched a TV show on Netflix called Wildcat, and the first thing you're going great, and then a cat dies, and you're like, what just happened?
I'm not watching that.
Okay, it's really sad, but then it gets
can't
good.
handle
But then
it.
it's sad. But anyway, this I'm telling you,
Sounds like a roller coaster.
this movie is not like anything that you will expect, and it takes a real heavy subject like suicide and kind of interjects like some humanity and humor, not humor, but it's just, I don't want to say too much, but it's real. It was really good. Like I loved it. And the female lead in this, the lady who plays like the Hispanic neighbor that comes in that kind of is like not buying into his grumpiness. She is fantastic. And her husband is great. The kids are great. It is so well done.
Well, you're praising this movie up
Yeah.
and down. Is
Yeah.
it better or worse than Top Gun Maverick?
Oh, better. Like from a like a movie standpoint.
Those are two very different
Now-
classes of movie.
Yeah, but he cried at
Right.
both.
Oh, you did.
Here's the
didn't you?
thing. I am going to tell you this, okay? And there is an agenda in one small part of the movie that really frustrates me. And that's like an LGBTQ agenda thing. But here's what's interesting about this is when it happened, I looked at my wife and went, oh, there it is. And she said she read the book, so she said it was in
there's a
there
book.
in the book. Yeah. But here's the thing about it. Like, it's one of those things, it didn't need to be there. They could have gotten around it a different way. But it was like, here's your agenda in it. And it was like so many Christian movies. And it felt so out of place because it's like with Christian movies, you're starting from the agenda first and then you write the story around it. And this one is a great story up till that, but it's like how Christian movies get to that point where they have to hit you with the gospel and the presentation, and it's really heavy-handed, and it ruins the art of it. For me, it ruined a section of the art of it, but for other people, I'm sure they're like, it's inclusive, it's great, But for me, I was like, there's the agenda. It reeked of agenda, but. Other than that, like, so if you can get past that, it's a good movie. But again, it's a small portion of it. And
I want to see it. I mean,
Yeah.
it looked, when I first saw the trailer, it looked amazing, but I love Tom Hanks.
my wife
too.
is standing behind me.
I know.
And does she want to speak or stab me?
I think she wants to speak.
I don't know. Well, for you saying about the agenda, it had something to do with his wife and her importance.
Right.
So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't necessarily, I didn't feel it was like, oh, this is in your face agenda, but it was in there.
They could have gone so many other directions or whatever, and it just fits with the trans agenda right now.
But
so there you go.
Like, is it? Because the argument being that we should expect those things to be in all of these movies.
But
we
it
shouldn't-
stinks that it is, honestly.
Yeah, but like we should expect it and shouldn't be surprised by it.
No, but that's
we're
the
not,
problem.
But we're not supposed to be okay with that. Like
Right.
that's the whole point of it, is that we're not. We should expect it, but we shouldn't stop having the conversation about why it shouldn't be
The
in there.
problem is that you're saying we should accept it. We should expect it. We
okay.
should expect it. Like, we should expect it because, the world doesn't live like we live, and the world is broken, and yes, it's going to do things. But my problem with it is because of that minority that is so vocal, they penalize anybody that has a movie that doesn't have it in there. They literally do that. Well, what's your LGBTQ trans plus blah 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 agenda? You don't have anything. You're not a good movie. And there are plenty of great movies that don't have to tell that story. Now, there are some that do tell that story, and that's fine.
It's almost like those movies where you feel like they want an R rating so bad, so they're
Right.
just going to throw random words out there. And you're like,
Violence
that really
and-
wasn't needed.
Right.
Well,
Kind
they-
of feels that way.
I watched a video of two people like kind of what was it? They were like comparing and contrasting Like Top Gun, which had no agenda in it, was just a plain outright action movie and did phenomenally.
Right.
And you know what? People wanted to be in a theater for that. People didn't want to be in a theater for Strange World, the Disney movie that
it
took a
tanked.
dive and is not going to make any money back. And that's because that movie had some agenda that was so outright from the beginning.
Right.
Did Avatar?
No, I don't
Climate
remember.
change or anything?
Well,
but like low, like a real low.
Gun violence?
The whole shtick with Avatar is like colonialism is your big one there, but I feel like that one's.
But that's America.
Yeah,
that's what we've always done.
We've been watching movies for that for 100 years.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So again, like I know you say we should expect it, but take religion out of it. Okay. This is my thing. Like, take religion out of it. Because you could say, well, you're a Christian, so you're biased against this. That's not my point. My point is not every movie that comes out has to tell that story, has to have that narrative. And it shouldn't be that way. That's the thing. Because then you're doing one note and it's all like the same thing. And you're doing it because you feel pressured to do it. You shouldn't have to have certain characters and certain things in the movie. It's okay for this movie and this piece of art to stand as it is. And it doesn't have equal representation for everybody in it because it's not that story, And then there's other ones that, you need this representation for whatever it is, and because that's that story and that's okay. And so that's my thing. Take religion, strip religion and faith out of it. It's just not good for art's sake, So anyway, that's that. Lady Rock, what do you got?
Oh, well, mine once again is a conversation that's going to take a while. So let's just skip it.
Was this the one that we skipped
last week?
We skipped this on Friday.
Okay, here's the deal. Potties are going to be like, oh my gosh.
This is going to be amazing.
When they get to this
really
tomorrow, it's going to be the best thing ever.
But I do think it's a conversation that we need to have.
Okay.
Because I think it is important.
I know. And I do too. And I appreciate you trying to get me out of here because my daughter is here. Hey, Haley.
Hi.
Yeah. So,
actually, I wanted to share my life story.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, that'll be fast. Go ahead.
That's rude. Yeah. I do have a birthday, though.
Okay, go ahead.
This one is Matt to his son, Nate, who's turning 13 today. That's a big birthday. Happy birthday, Nate. Said Nate loves playing sports, video games, and is amazing tuba player.
Oh, sweet.
That's awesome.
The question is, I'm a high school woodworking teacher.
Oh, I like this.
Oh, that's
in an
cool.
area where many schools have gotten rid of wood shop and other skill-based learning.
It's a bummer.
What is a skill-based class you wish they would teach high schoolers?
Welding.
Welding, like,
Why?
I feel like there's
because
better
I
stuff.
think
You don't need welders?
You don't use welding every day.
You don't, but when you need everything you have, like everything that's structural is welded. Like, I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah,
Look at
I
planes.
disagree.
Like, I would like to have a welding class
Well,
as
we're
an
not talking
adult.
about you.
But
We're
even
talking
then,
about high school.
I'm talking about trades. Like, I wish they had a high school radio thing at my school. They didn't. Like, I would have loved to do the high school radio or TV kind of thing at the station, at the school. I would have killed for that. But they didn't have that at my school.
I think they should do I have two. Either cooking, just general cooking, like how to boil water, how to make scrambled eggs, like just the general things. I also think they should still have home ec. I'm saying 3 now, so they should teach you how to do laundry, and that you need to clean out the lint roller.
Okay,
not the lint roller,
the lint trap thing.
Yeah. That's so
fire
important,
hazard,
and sometimes you don't know that.
Doing your husband's laundry is one thing.
Wow, no, that is not
That's
what I'm
you
saying.
said.
And then
That's
number
what you
3,
said.
no, I didn't. Number 3 would be how to do your taxes.
Yes.
No one teaches you how to do that. They just throw you into the lion's den and they're like, here's what you got to do. If you get it wrong, you go to prison. Best of luck.
Yeah,
May
I
the
still
odds
do.
be
I
ever
still
in your
do
favor.
Haley's taxes because it's
That's
faster.
like the blind leading the blind.
No, no, 1040, like a 1040 form. It's a little confusing. Even now, they've made it harder.
The IRS is going to be like,
Yeah, Haley's going to jail. Sorry, Boodle.
yeah, I use Tax Turbo and I just hope for the best.
TurboTax?
Oh, really? You got the
Whatever.
knockoff? She's like, I use that their tax turbo
Why
thing.
they correct that?
I got it because their little emblem is a possum, and I thought that was so cute.
What?
They sold me on. Don't believe me.
No.
You're so
No.
gullible.
No.
I think kids should know how to do taxes. It's too hard.
No, that is a good one.
and
I agree.
laundry. show? Like, how do you lights, darks? When do you use cold?
Theoretically, these are things your parents are supposed to teach you.
Yeah,
and some things are just easier just to do it, like the taxes. She'll figure it out one day. And so, like, I'll do them again this year. But I don't pay her taxes. She still has to pay her taxes. But
Gavin?
Yeah, you took like the really good ones.
Go back to welding.
I'm going to say grilling. That's something that like I like was never taught how to do, which I probably could have asked my dad, hey, Dad, show me how to do this. But I still don't really know how to do it.
It's a good one.
So I would love to be a master griller out of high school.
And what a great class to be in because you have to practice grilling.
Oh,
I got steak.
All
what I
your
told my
clothes
wife
are just gonna.
The other day I said, if we're going to look for a new hobby that we could do together, why don't we do like baking? Like take a baking thing and make stuff that we like to eat. And like we'll both like destroy our bodies together.
Oh my gosh, is your wife becoming your new best friend?
She's always been my best friend. Nailed it.
That's what you're supposed to say.
That was a dumb question because we've been together 34 years.
But he's looking for a new best friend. Does that hurt
guy best friend that will do the crazy stuff.
In life, you need that diversity of people in your life. You can't just have it. It's not to say that a wife's not good enough.
Yeah,
but like
it's different.
That's what I'm hearing.
They're not.
It's different.
Whoa, wait, no, they are.
You better be careful.
They're not for certain things. Like my wife is not adventurous. She doesn't like to go do scary things. I like to do scary things, and so that doesn't work. Because then if I make her do it, then she doesn't have fun, and then that ruins my fun. And so we've learned to just you do the things you like to do, I do the things I like to do. Now that being said, there are things I would love to do with her. You know, like she's talked about pickleball, but she doesn't want to play with other people, and because like she doesn't want to not be good at it.
Build her a pickleball course in the backyard.
And
yeah.
So we could do that. She talked about golf, but
golf is hard.
I don't even play golf a lot anymore. Gavin and I are going to go out and play golf eventually.
Oh, cute.
New best friend.
No.
What was that? Like you didn't even wait.
Here's the
you
thing.
did not give me the right pause.
I 100% know that I'm the wrong person for you, though. Based
not
on
you, it's me. I just got broken up with by Gavin.
You just have to think about all of those things that I am like not great at when it comes to like the typical masculine nature, you would be so disappointed every day.
Yeah, I'd be like your dad.
Yeah. That's a lie. So tough.
You
on that note,
the son I never wanted.
I feel like I'm ending a lot of Aftercast with on that note.
I know, that's great. That's how we know it's working.
Before it gets any worse.
No, see, this is it. This is the thing, man. This is how we do what we do and why I'm the way I am. It's kind of like when my wife goes, that's not funny. And I'm like leading with it tomorrow. Because I know it's the right thing. And when you're like, okay, on that note, I know we've done good work.
Do you still think it's the right thing when Gavin sobs in his pillow at night?
Yeah.
You say that like all the time. Like I cry a lot. I will say, watched a sad TikTok video on Friday, cried for like 10 minutes.
What was it?
It was like a dog dying.
Oh,
But it was a cartoon strip. And he was out in the cold and he was like, my family's going to let me in soon. And they didn't.
Oh.
Sorry to end it like this.
Yeah.
So sad.
On that note.
Well, you can't say anything because you cried with the Tom Hanks movie.
Oh, it's so
We're
good,
all going to
though.
cry at that.
Yeah, if you don't,
sure.
you have zero soul, honestly.
Yeah.
And Betty will come back. Not a tear.
I didn't think it was all that
Nothing.
great.
Thought it was a comedy.
Left halfway through. Comedy.
All right, that's going to do it for your Aftercast.
As always, thanks for being
Potty.
Potty.